And good afternoon or good evening, wherever you may be. Today is November 10th, 2021. This is recording number 283, entitled Children of the Day. Let's see. Yeah, 283, entitled Children of Light and Day. Children of Light and Day. Light. Day. They both denote being able to see. We know that there is nothing that can penetrate light, but we know that when light penetrates darkness, darkness immediately fades. There is only one operation. No matter how many times it is supposed, or an action is supposed to be enacted by man, there is only one operation, and that is the operation of God in his own universe. I'm going to repeat that again, because this right here is the theme or premise of what I'm speaking from. Regardless of what you're looking at, tasting, touching, smelling, or hearing, you must know, we must know, regardless of how ugly that situation looks or sounds, there is only one operation going on in our life, and that is God operating in his own universe. Now that needs to be swallowed. Sounds good, but as the scriptures say, it needs to be swallowed. And the prophet said that when he swallowed, it was sour to his belly. And it was sour to his belly because he was carrying other beliefs. He was carrying beliefs of other operations. He said, she said. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But the bottom line is there is only one operation throughout the universe, and that operation is God in his own universe. I'm going to go a little bit deeper into this in a few moments. When confusion of this law is entertained, where do we entertain it? In our conscience. When we taste, investigate, think about any other law operating other than that law, disaster occurs. When confusion of this law is entertained, man, whose breath is in his nostrils, when he entertains, he says he can always make something better. He says he can always correct something. He says that he can always, whatever, disaster. And if you'll notice our world, if you look at it, it's not getting better, is it? But with each election period that comes up, what is the herald? We're going to make it better. Vote for me, vote for this, vote for that, vote for that. Regardless of the side. Doesn't matter whether it's Republican, Democratic, or whatever. It never gets better. Why? Because man is putting trust in man whose breath is in his nostrils. And what does God say? I am the only operation. And you notice I'm going to keep going back to that. I am the only operation that's going on in my universe, and you are a part of my universe. Man is the offspring or direct expression of this law, this universe. All things were created by God, man in his image and likeness, and all things, all dominion was given to man. The direct expression of this law, a universe. In other words, man is the child of light and day. I need you to focus on the point that I'm making. One law, one expression, dominant through man, being watched over by the creator of the law and the universe, God. The unconditional awakening in man, that is with total surrender, unconditional awakening, not no, but what if, how can, when, is it going to work? No. What did I say? Unconditional surrender or awakening to this relationship. The filth of human thinking and belief begins to be expelled from the conscience. There's another point right there. Conscience. All problems are carried in conscience, not external to you. How did I come to this? I was sitting the other day, and I don't know what it was. Something fell off the table, and it fell on the ground, fell on the floor. I reached down and picked it up, and instead of just laying it back on the table, I held it about 2 or 3 inches and dropped it, and it fell to the table. And I went, Gravity. Gravity is supreme over everything which has weight. Even if you drop feathers from 1,000 feet, eventually they'll what? Float to the earth. Or if you drop a piece of iron, it will zoom to the earth. The law of gravity is supreme. It is dominant over everything on this planet. And what do we do to respect it? We respect it, don't we? So gravity is king in its area. And once I saw that, then my intro made sense. There is one operation throughout this universe that is supreme even over gravity. And that operation is God operating in his own universe. In other words, again, you are not operating on your own. You are not operating by any of the laws. You are not operating by anything other than your recognition or non-recognition of the one law, which is what I said, an unconditional, total surrender to this law. We are filled from the beginning, whatever you want to call that. We are filled from the beginning with the light of life. In other words, when you came here, you were filled with this law of operation working in you, whether you are aware of it or not. Okay? We must commit a full surrender to the one operation. Right now, what just keeps popping in my head is, how many years, how many times have I experimented with the Word of God to see if it would work? Is that a total surrender? How many times have I prayed to see if God would hear my prayers so I could decide to follow God? Is that a total surrender? So what am I saying? When did you realize that pothole down in the center of town? Y'all know the one I'm talking about? I think it's on, going around the curve there. How many times did you hit that pothole before you surrendered and say, when I turn this corner, there's a pothole, I need to go right or left? I hit that thing 3 times before it dawned on me, dude, when are you going to start to pay attention and surrender? Don't fight the pothole, because it's not going anywhere. And you can show it how rugged the shocks on your vehicle are all you want to, how tough they are, but what's going to happen? The pothole is going to win, isn't it? What am I saying? There is an operation of the one that is going on whether you experiment with it or not, whether you test it or not, whether you unconditionally surrender to it or not. That one power, that one operation is going on. So what happens if you're afraid that it won't watch over you if you totally surrender to it? That's what we do, isn't it? That's what we do. Let me pray and see if God will hear me. And then I'll decide. But if he hears me, then I'll test him again, and I'll grow my confidence in trusting him. No. Do you grow your confidence in the law of gravity? It is what it is, isn't it? It says, I am here and you are going to respect me. When you get tired of tripping, falling, knocking, dropping, breaking, when you get tired of that, what do? You unconditionally. How many times have you reached and set something aside, moved it over so that if you did a sudden move or whatever, it was not going to get caught? No, it's not that it's caught in gravity. Please tell me what on this planet is not already under the power. I'm trying to show you something. I hope you're getting it. What on this planet is not already under the power of gravity? Nothing. What on this planet is not under the power of the one operation? Nothing. Full surrender. What Marvin Gaye say? Make me want to holler. Throw up both my hands. When I throw my hands up, what am I saying? I surrender. I give up. We do not experiment to see what results may be positively attained, but an all-out dependence because this operation is fully legitimate. But I don't know how to. Hey, what caused you to look into the perfect law of liberty and decide that you were going to follow Jesus Christ? Because when you looked over there, what were you looking at? The one operation. Who had all of the reservations about whether to jump in or not? You did. Is the one operation saying, I am the one operation and I cannot fail? Yes. Is the one operation saying that I am all that there is and nothing can come at me that's defiled? Yes. Is the one operation saying there is nothing that is not under my dominion, and all those that trust in me shall be preserved and raised up? Yeah. Then how can I decide that I am going to have reservations about the one operation? We do not petition God in a hope that we might be successful. We abandon ourselves totally, consciously, as with total respect, as we did with the law of gravity. You never question gravity, do you? Why do we question God? Come on now. Because we scared he might not do. Come on now. He might not meet up to what we expect. What? How dare we? He who made the law of gravity, we're going to question him? No, we're not really questioning him. What we're saying is, if I don't have enough faith, that's what we're saying, right? I might lose me. Think, you might what? Lose me. Well, where are you going to lose you? Where are you going? Where are you going to lose you? We need to stop thinking. Stop thinking. We need not learn how to depend on Jesus. Y'all know that song? I'm learning to lean and depend. Learning? We need not learn to depend on Jesus, but unconditionally give ourselves because his law is irrefutable. We are children of light and day. A child, a baby, they don't learn to trust their parents, do they? Come on, think about it. Does a baby learn to trust their parents? It's ill-equipped to do otherwise. We are inbreathed with light. That which is the one operation is what has given us light. The moment we are awakened to this position, we come under its domain. Ours is but to remind ourselves that we don't make unsound moves, for it watches over all that recognizes it as Father. I hope that I'm causing you to at least look at the fact that you're saying, well, I'm this far on the spiritual path. I've learned this much. I'm able to do. You're not learning anything. Think about it. The natural man, is he going to go to heaven? Nope. Why did Jesus say, take up your cross and follow me? Because he knew that the natural man must be left behind. The natural man must be crucified. And the only way that the natural man can make it is to give himself up. He who loses his life for my sake. If I lose my life, there I am. I'm supposed to do what? Lose my life. And step over into the one operation. We are children of the light and day. With true abandonment to the one, we gradually begin to see the laws spoken of by Jesus operate 100%. When recognized, they produce every need out of its invisible substance. But that substance is not invisible to us because there is something that's moving within us that lets us know that the one operation has been awakened. We see it. We feel it. Oh, taste and see. We know that it is there. It's like on some of the witnesses that on my brother's Bible class, they speak of having that moment now when they go out shopping or going out to do certain things, and suddenly the scene just changes in favor of them being there. That's the laws of God operating 100%, gradually beginning to see. It's not anything they're doing except what? Depending on the law of the one operation as they would depend Once again, I apologize for the call being, thank you for being patient. Unless one discovers that he lives in this wonderful canopy, and more importantly, that it lives in him, he will live as a temporary thing and will pass into oblivion. Y'all get that? Until we recognize that we are the children of light and day, and we live in this canopy, under this canopy of the one operation, we will be a temporary thing, and we will be accustomed to telling everyone every day that when I die, I'm going to heaven. We're going to try to make it make sense to us. When God tells us that death is the last enemy, if death is an enemy, why is death taking me to heaven if I must overcome it? And if I live under the one operation, is there death in the one operation? No. So I must come to the understanding of the one operation, and then death is swallowed up of life and taken away. His belief, our belief in a separation from God, guarantees disastrous outcomes. Why? Because we are being, capital B, being. We are children of the light and the day. One must know that the substance and the evidence of life must be recognized as a conscious belief before it can be manifested. In other words, I am the light. I am the way. I am the truth. I am the expression of light and love. I am under the canopy. I am the expression of the one operation. I carry this belief. This is my satchel. This is what's in my backpack. I am constantly walking in the understanding that which I thought I was seeking, I am. And the evidence of what I am will show itself because of my recognition of who and what I am. When recognizing oneself as belonging, one partakes of the quality of the one spirit. In other words, birds of a feather flock together. Who you hang around, that's what you are known as. Who are you hanging around? Are you hanging around a man trying to learn who God is, or are you hanging around that which you is? But what if I don't believe that, hey, that's the man whose breath is in his nostril? He's a natural man. He can't understand the things of God. So what must I do? I identify with the light that embreathes me. I identify with it. I am that light. I belong. I belong to the one operation. Nothing can change that. I don't need to learn how to be a part of the one operation. I already am. I come wherever I come from that which is, that which cannot be overtaken, and that which even the law of gravity respects. Oh my gosh. So what do? I remind myself constantly, as Joel Goldsmith would say, 100 times a day. I remind myself that this is who I am. And when awakened, man finds an inexhaustible pool of resource from which he may draw whatsoever he would. I think I'll say that again. When awakened, when my consciousness awakens to the fact that it is, has been, and will always be under the canopy of the one operation, it can never separate itself from it. It does not have to learn to be a part of. It simply is, because that's the way it came down from the beginning. You need to understand, automatically. These people that are going in the stores and going shopping and whatnot, that stuff is automatically happening for them. They're not going in there praying, God do this, God do that. It's automatically happening. Why? Because the one operation is watching over all aspects of its recognition. It's always doing it. It would have done it years ago had we recognized that's who we were. But the moment that we awaken that one, as long as we become the wise men bringing gifts to the child in our conscience, well, what did I just say? Everything that's going on with you, where is it going on? In your conscience. In your conscience. Stop looking out here in this world trying to effect something, trying to affect something. No, it's your conscience. That which you hold in consciousness is what you express, regardless of how ugly and how stinky or how inconvenient it may appear. Remember always, and again I say always, there is always the life of God in the midst of you. We are the children of light and day. You are peculiar. Why? Because you are filled with the recognition of being light and life. You radiate joy automatically because of this self-discovery. No longer searching, expressing. We are the children of light and day. God bless.